like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and Bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dennis Sperling Podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dennis Sperling Podcast, tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies, hands on your knees. You can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens. We obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil. They trying to eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters. Peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Sperling Podcast. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Sperling Podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the Blizzard King with the cold, hard truth. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, fellow thinkers, I stand before you today to address a topic that challenges the very fabric of our existence as men and as leaders within our communities. This isn't just a call to action. It's a wake-up call. And let me say it like this. And in the age where woke is now dead, I can say what I want to say, and I've been saying it a long time. You cannot allow women to rule over you, fellas. Let me run that back. You cannot allow women to rule over you. History, culture, and religion have shown us time and again the consequences of abandoning your roles as leaders and protectors of your families and communities. And it's time for men to stand firm, not just for ourselves, but for the future of our families and our communities. Now, I know this is a story that you know. It's a real life example. You know the story of Aaron Sloan. You remember him? Y'all remember Aaron Sloan? Huh? This young man just like some of you. He stood up for himself. People called him the balloon pop plumber. And he was on the balloon pop game. He wasn't afraid to speak up and demand respect. And you know what happened? They came for him. And when they came for him, I answered the door. The same way I answered the door for the late, great Kevin Samuels when they came for him after his death. Nevertheless, black men across the country recognized Aaron for being strong and standing firm. They even helped him raise $12,000 in support. Now think about that. They didn't reward Aaron for being passive or weak when he was being insulted and disrespected. They rewarded him for being a man, being assertive, being confident, and being proud. That's the lesson here. Being a man who stands up for himself will always be respected. There's no value in being a pushover, as they say, a simp. People respect strength, not weakness. Somebody type, "You don't qualify, Queen," in the chat room. Somebody type Aaron Sloan in the chat room. I hope he sees this, man. Okay? Now, one of the biggest challenges we face as black men is earning and keeping respect, especially from black women. Look, The sad truth is many black women don't respect black men. Why? Because too many of us have given up the role as leader. When we stop leading, they sit in. And deep down, they end up resenting us for that. As Kevin Samuels, you guys know he was a devout Christian. He was a Sunday school teacher. And he said, he once said that the breakdown of respect within our families is at the heart of our struggle. See, feminism with its roots in rebellion against the divine order has exacerbated the problem. Okay, feminism therefore plays a big part. But at the core, feminism isn't just about equality, it's about flipping the roles, making men take a back seat while women take over. See, it's not just anti-patriarchy, it's anti-Christianity, it's anti-family, it's anti-order. And some of these modern feminists even identify as witches. That's what they do. Okay, they literally think that they can hocus pocus their way into power. And nevertheless, they openly reject the idea of men leading and they want to decenter the black man. Okay, and if we let it happen, our families and our communities will fall apart and continue falling apart. But what happens when women are empowered to rule? Look around. Look at the black community. We see our communities where chaos reigns, where children are neglected, and where our elders suffer abuse. They can't even come outside the house without fear of getting hit upside the head by some of these wild youth that we have running in the street. Now, I'm not trying to attack women. Not at all, okay? But I will address that this is a reflection on the misplaced roles that women think they're supposed to fill. When men step down, when men abandon their divine duties, the natural order is disrupted and the consequences are devastating. Let's go to your Bible. If you ever read the Bible, some of y'all don't go to Sunday school, nothing. The only time you see a Bible is when you're in the hotel with the prostitute that you're messing around with, and it's right next to the stand in the drawer. Nevertheless, many of you probably heard of a verse, and it says, your desire will be your husband, and he will rule over you. That's Genesis 3:16. Well, I don't think that's Genesis 3:16, but it's in there. Let me see if I can check that. I want to make sure I get that. Hold on a minute. Let me see here. I'll make sure I get that for you. Yeah, that is Genesis 3:16. Your desire will be your husband and he will rule over you. It's from the Bible. And I double checked it. Gosh. Yeah, that was when God was talking to Eve. Sure is. Nevertheless, this verse, and in that context, it discusses the natural order of relationships. It's in other words, men are meant to lead, not dominate, not abuse, but they're meant to lead in that they're meant to guide and protect. And when you don't lead, things get messy. Here's the thing. All right. The Bible isn't some outdated book written by white people, okay, or old timers. It's a blueprint for life. It tells you how to run a successful, organized society. Either you're going to have chaos or you're going to have order. The Bible teaches you how to snatch order out of chaos. Like many of the ancient religions, all of you guys talk about Egypt. You don't have any knowledge of Egyptology. Okay, you Heru and all that, and Seth, and the hero comes to restore order to the society. Okay, evil is synonymous with chaos and disorder. So if you got a hero who comes in to restore order, that's because we need heroes to restore. So they get rid of the bad guy, and the bad guy brings chaos. Some of you guys like the DCU. I got my eyes closed because I'm preaching. I might go a little long with today. All right. But when you look at the Batman and you look at Joker, one of them represents what? Justice. The other one represents chaos. That's why they're arch enemies. But see, the problem with Batman is willing to overstep some lines. He is willing to create injustice so he can achieve justice. And that's why Joker always tells him, you and I are close, because at the end of the day, the Joker is chaos, but in his mind, he's seeking justice. And so that's why the lines are blurred between those two. It's a very interesting story when you really dig into it. Nevertheless, again, this is a blueprint for life. Okay, that's what your Bible is. Societies, look, it shows us how families and societies work best. And that the key to that is order. See, I can go on and on about this, okay? I can go on, we always talk about cleanliness is next to godliness. But why? Because cleanliness means that everything is in order, and God is an order. God has brought order to this universe. Even in the creation story, there was nothing but an abyss of darkness, and God brought light to the darkness. And he ordered the planets and the moons and the solar systems. And on these 6 days when he contemplated and did creation, he brought order to the void. That's the answer right there. And right here in your own homes and your own communities. Imagine if the moon, the earth rotated around the moon. The gravitational pull would be all off. What if the sun rotated around the sun? It would just be chaos in the galaxy. So there's a need for order. The man needs to be the leader of the house. Now, when I say leadership, it's not about being a boss. It's about taking responsibility. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's hard. And when men lead with strength and vision and families, then families thrive. But when we as men step back and let women take care of us, chaos creeps in. When we let women take over, chaos creeps in. That's outside the natural order. When men stop leading, women are forced into the roles they aren't meant to carry. Like Kevin Samuels used to say, shoulders are meant to bear weight, hips are meant to give birth. So instead of being nurturers, women become harsh and controlling. And when men are restrained and they're told that they're toxic just for exhibiting the natural traits that men exhibit, we either give up or we go too far in the wrong direction. Balance is key. And when men lead, women nurture, and everyone benefits. But when feminism pushes for superiority instead of equality, things are going to break apart. You might know this. Maybe you don't. But many of these early feminists were into the occult. Things like spirit mediums and even worshiping Lucifer. It sounds crazy. I get that. But it's true. They literally wanted to tear down the family structure, remove men as leaders, and rewrite society's rules. And the feminist movement started as a push for basic rights, which was fair. But over time, it shifted to something else, something that's now about taking men out of the picture completely. And that's not equality, that's destruction. Look, what can we do? First, recognize your worth, fellas. Recognize that you were born to lead, to protect, and to build. That doesn't mean being a dictator or bossing people around. It means taking responsibility for your life and the people around you. Second, stand up for yourself. Don't let anyone, man or woman, make you feel small or powerless. Respect yourself. Respect yourself and others will respect you too. Look at I mentioned earlier, Aaron Sloan. He didn't let anyone push him around. And people admired him for that. Okay? All these YouTubers came for him and he did his best to come back. You can do the same. Don't be afraid to embrace the traditional roles. Being a man isn't toxic. It's necessary. Men and women are different for a reason. We work together in our natural roles. We create strong families and communities. That's how we win. Not by fighting each other, but by working together with respect and understanding. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Fellas, again, don't let women control or rule over you. Step up. Be the leader. Be the one you're meant to be. Stand firm in your values and your beliefs. And when you do, not only will you gain respect, but you'll help rebuild the foundation of families and communities. You got the power to make the difference. Don't waste it. This is the Blizzard King with the cold, hard truth, and I'm out.
Dennis Burley Podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.